We've got a best bet for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. But first, let's get right into our double play for Major League Baseball on Wednesday. Zinno, no hat today, but you think there's a total on the board that is too low.
Yeah, I took my top off because I am correlating that to the over I'm playing here between the Guardians and Reds. Also file this under the something's got to give category. Let's take a look at these starters here. Nick Lodolo starts for the Reds, a lefty. They are 7-2 when he starts, and he's getting nearly 4.5 runs of support this season. On the flip side, Tanner Beebe starts for the Guardians, who are, oh, by the way, 9-2 when he starts this year. So both of these starters have gotten a lot of run support. Beebe, by the way, getting over 5.5 runs of support per game. So I'm expecting both of these teams are going to score here. But also the Guardians, the last 17 times they have faced a left-handed starter, they are 13-4 straight up, averaging over 6 runs a game, or almost 6 runs a game in those spots. So a lot of runs being scored by both teams on both sides here. Something will give. One of these teams will do a lot of the heavy lifting. I think both of them have the opportunity to do it. But we get a favorable number here at 8. Shop around. There's 8.5s out there, but there's also 8. Shop around. Get the best number you can here. I think we go over between these two teams, Guardians and Reds, who were low scoring for both these teams last night in a 5-3 final. But we'll go over 8 tonight for my half of the double play.
All right. Zinno likes the over there. If you agree, smash that like button. Now we're going to get into my half of the double play, and I'm heading out west. Angels, D-backs, Arizona. They're what I would call a medium-sized favorite here. Looking at the WagerTalk.com live odds screen, we'll call it minus 145-ish. I like the D-backs today. They beat the Halos 9-4 last night for the record. But there's a way to reduce the juice here, Zinno, and that is play Arizona first 5 minus the half run. They led 5-2 after 5 last night. Slade Ciccone against Jose Soriano. It may not seem like a substantial edge for the D-backs, but the D-backs have won 3 of Ciccone's last 4 starts. I was on them when they beat the Mets 10-5 back on June 1st. Then last time out, their lone win in the series with the Padres was with Ciccone on the mound. So I'm going to lay the half run. I think Arizona gets it done tonight. I don't think they're going to need to come from behind. So I will lay the half run in the first 5. Even money. Your double play. Zinno on over Guardians Reds. I'm taking D-backs first 5 minus a half. If you agree with us, smash that like button again, and feel free to comment with your favorite Major League Baseball bets as well for Wednesday. We love to see what you guys are thinking. All right, Game 3 of the NBA Finals is tonight, Zinno. The market has reacted to the Kristaps Porzingis news. Earlier in the week, we were pretty vocal about how the odds have shifted from Game 2 to Game 3. How does this Porzingis being questionable news affect your handicap of tonight's all-important matchup?
I mean, questionable doesn't scare me. Missoula said he's fine after Game 2. They have to put an injury designation on him somehow, right? Like, that's part of what has to happen. So they put it as questionable. I don't think he's not playing. I think he's still playing. So even if he's limited, and even if he's on a pitch count, so to speak, as far as minutes is concerned, the bigger problem for me here for Dallas, again, is I just don't think they can stop Boston, period. Now, if we find out right before tip that Porzingis is out, clearly that changes things, and I would handicap the game differently. So I would say you maybe have to wait, but you might miss the best of the number depending on which side you're going to be on here. So I think Boston is a better team. Look, BP, I can't rest my mind on anything other than the fact that what you're betting on, if you bet Dallas in any size, way, shape, or form, is that their shooting is going to increase. Particularly, they're going to start making threes. You and I talked before the show, and I said very simply, if Dallas doesn't make between 12 and 14 threes in this game, they're dead. They're not winning. Like, that's the number for me. Because they're going to have to make that many to get to 100, as we have seen them not do twice in this series. And that in and of itself is only half the equation, because they're going to have to stop Boston from getting to 100, 105 range. So they need 2 things to happen here. And I don't know that they get them both in the same game. Remember, Boston had one of their worst shooting performances of the entire postseason and the entire season in general in Game 2 against Dallas, and they still won the game. I mean, if you can be that bad and still win, guess what? When they actually are good, because you can't sit here and go, well, I expect Dallas to have a regression to the mean on 3-point shooting. Sure, then why doesn't Boston get a regression to the mean? Who, oh, by the way, is a much better three-point shooting team.
Yeah.
Like, what's good for one has to be good for the other.
To that point, it was their second worst three-point shooting game of the season, Boston. 10 for 39 in game 2. The Mavs, as of the time we're recording, pretty much minus 2.5 across the board. Interestingly, the first half number, we talked about this on Monday's show, pretty much the same here. We talked the first half trend, in case you missed it on Monday, teams down 0-2, okay? Returning home for game 3 in any series, 91, 47, and 2 ATS, 66% going back 2 decades. And even more encouraging if you're a Mavs fan, the last 6 teams of the NBA Finals in this situation wound up winning game 3 straight up. Now, however, as you like to say sometimes, Mark, we have to point out this is only the 4th time all season Boston has been an underdog. Just the 4th time all season.
That's insanity.
It's only the 7th time since the start of last season they've been a dog with both Brown and Tatum in the lineup. Last year, they were 4-0 straight up and against the number, won by an average of 23 points as a dog with those 2 in the lineup. Now, they're 0-2 with them both in the lineup as a dog this year, both games at Milwaukee. But it just goes to show what we talked about. This spread on Monday, the books, they're a little scared of that Mavs liability, I think. So for our show best bet, Mark, we're going to focus on the first half, and we're going to focus on the Dallas total. We think that there's no way Dallas takes this game without a strong start, particularly a strong start offensively in the first half. So we're looking first half over team total. Will you please expound on that for our fine viewers?
Yeah, look, I do believe Dallas will have a regression to the mean, especially at home when it comes to three-point shooting. So they should be more efficient. Now, they got to 51 in the first game, or rather in the last game, in game 2 in the first half. But that also included a 3.5-minute scoring drought in the first quarter and a 4-minute scoring drought in the second quarter. And they still got to 51. That's what they have to avoid here. If they don't have that 3 or 4 minute span where they don't score a single damn point, they should get over this number. Now, I'm not saying Dallas is necessarily going to lead at half because, again, I think Boston can absolutely score 60 if Dallas scores 57. But I would look at this and go, if Dallas wants to have a chance in this game, they can't be trailing by 4 or 5 at halftime. It's not an insurmountable lead. It's just not a game script I want for them. It's not a game script. I think Jason Kidd would go, it's a good plan. We got them right where we want them, down by 5 at half. No, they need to have a lead. In order to do that, they're going to have to score, and they're going to have to be better than what they were in the first 2 games in the first half here. So let's bank on Dallas and those trends you talked about, having some positive regression, getting to the number they need. I don't know if that means that they have a 1-point lead, whether they have a 4-point lead, whether they're trailing by 2. But I think we get more outs with their team total over.
Yeah, I have a first half and full game combo currently up on my page right now, wt.buzz/BP. You can get the pair for $29. It is a 96, 66, and 2 NBA run for yours truly. But your show best bet is Dallas first half over the team total. Let us know what you think of that down in the comment section below. If you agree, again, smash that like button, of course. If you have not yet subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel, right there. It's very simple. You just hit the subscribe button. Mark, what do you have cooking on the docket for today?
2 plays in Major League Baseball. 1, of course, in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Make sure you guys go over to the site as well. BP told you all about it. WT.buzz/MZ.
Yes, and don't forget about that 7 days for $77 special. Still available on both Mark's and I's page. So that does it for the morning wager here on Wednesday. We will be back tomorrow with some Game 3 reaction and plenty of Major League Baseball to discuss. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.